Hi everyone! Today I'm going to explain everything you need to know about the dangers of cloud computing as portrayed by the media. The dangers of cloud computing! Specifically, you're going to learn about the following threats: malicious insider, data breach, data loss, hacking, as well as artificial intelligence and the social impact of cloud computing. Let's get to it. Let's start with a malicious insider, either on the side of the cloud provider or a man in the middle where another party or vendor the cloud provider is using has malicious intent. This is based on the concept of an individual that can misuse their power to harm others. In reality, this specific scenario is extremely unlikely due to the rigorous personnel and vendor vetting process cloud providers use to protect their assets and their brand. For example, system administrators do not have root level access to computers. Instead, they use automated tools to perform maintenance activities across millions of computers around the world. Customer assets are strictly separated from areas administrators have access to. This is achieved by encrypting customer assets with keys that rotate every few seconds. It is virtually impossible for a small group of people to do anything they are not supposed to. Overall, I rate the malicious insider threat a very low risk. Our next topic is the concept of a data breach. This could be in the form of a physical theft or via sniffing network traffic between the cloud provider and a customer. This is based on the concept of ownership and the fear of losing control. Modern data centers, like for example the Super NAP in Las Vegas shown here, cost somewhere between $1 and $3 billion. The relatively small size of the building makes it ideal for state-of-the-art security technologies to protect the high investment. Physical access to a data center is organized in layers similar to an onion. For example, air conditioning maintenance staff is not allowed in the area where the computers are. Motion detectors will alert security staff to the presence of unauthorized personnel. Let's imagine a case where a thief forcefully breaks into the building, grabs some equipment, and then mysteriously gets away with it. All data is encrypted during transit and at rest. This means that the thief was able to steal equipment, however, the data stored is unusable. Overall, I rate the data breach threat also a very low risk. Next, let's look at data loss, either due to an oversight on the cloud provider side, or a mistake by a user, or because of an external event like a catastrophe. This is based on important knowledge that cannot be recovered once lost and the fear of accidentally losing something. Data center providers apply data redundancy methodologies on multiple levels, effectively storing the same data multiple times on different systems. To give you a better idea, if you store 10,000 objects in the Amazon Web Services simple storage service, on average, AWS may lose one object every 10 million years. That said, it may be necessary to permanently delete something, for example, for legal reasons, and people could make mistakes here. However, data recovery options cloud providers offer help mitigate accidental overwrites or deletions, allowing users to undo their mistakes to some degree. While it is possible for a business to build a custom solution not following industry best practices and allowing for these types of mistakes, these are relatively rare edge cases. Overall, I rate the data loss threat a low risk. Let's look at scenarios where your employees cause impact to your business because they didn't have the knowledge or skills. This is based on the concept of only highly skilled staff being able to perform activities, and the fear that, despite their best intentions, untrained people may fail. Cloud providers do their best to remove human error from day-to-day running the business activities on their side. They also provide error compensating technologies like redundancy and undo functionality on the customer side. However, there is still a high potential for customers to make mistakes. Let's take the use case where a small group within your company is adopting a new technology without the knowledge of your IT department. As a result, corporate policies may not be followed, effectively creating a shadow IT function. This may expose your business to accidents and external threats. Unfortunately, the insufficient due diligence threat is real and I rate it a high risk. Next, let's take a look at hacking. Here, malicious or criminal outsiders systematically attempt to impact or steal from your business. This is similar to the data breach scenario from before that was based on the concept of ownership. The exception here is that we lose ownership by force. Unfortunately, this is a very real threat and I rank hacking as a high risk. On the upside, criminal hackers typically choose targets of a certain value or reputation. If your business is relatively small, your risk of being hacked is also relatively small. I intend to make a separate video on this exact topic, so keep an eye out for that. Something the media very rarely talks about is that using storage or software as a service has legal implications. For example, when you purchase a traditional software license, the software will, in most cases, continue to operate indefinitely, even if not legally compliant. This means that maintaining the operating environment and the software updates is up to you. Modern software is rented on a time basis. This has the advantage that the provider is responsible for operation and that you immediately benefit from software update. It also means that when you stop your subscription, the software is no longer available to you. This is not so much of a threat as it is a different business model, and it has advantages and disadvantages on both sides. Let's talk about artificial intelligence. The media seems to be morbidly afraid of computers taking over the world and robots destroying humanity. While this is easy to imagine in movies and books, in reality, even the most advanced artificial intelligence has the intellect of a defunct 10-year-old kid. I say defunct because concepts that are very easy to grasp for children, like time and sentimental value, are outrageously difficult for computers to comprehend. It is easy to give a computer access to an encyclopedia to make it an apt conversation partner. However, the program does not understand the meaning of the words like people do. For example, the most advanced AIs today suggested talking to people that have been dead for several hundred years. Something that children would intuitively know is not possible. And this is a massive challenge that requires several layers of technology that haven't been invented yet. While we will see more intelligent devices with speech interfaces in our lifetime, and artificial intelligence that threatens humankind is a minimal threat, at least for the next 20 to 30 years. Let's talk about social impact of cloud computing. Cloud computing is really just a very large global data center. That's it. While it enables other technologies, like the internet for example, it in itself is not a direct driver of social change. For example, People have been emailing themselves files they wanted to access anywhere long before cloud storage was available. I think one of the first technologies with a deep social impact was the television. Why? It allowed parents to put their kids in front of a TV and go do something else. Before the television, you had to buy toys or spend time with your children. Gaming consoles, personal computers, smartphones and tablets have been deepening the social impact. Technologies like Facebook or Snapchat wouldn't be as pervasive without devices that allowed access anytime, anywhere. Intelligent edge devices will further deepen the social impact for adults and children alike. For example, we may see computers with speech or gesture interfaces in apparel, clothing, or furniture. However, after an initial adoption phase, we will learn to minimize our exposure and our dependence, similar to how we don't see people talking on the phone in public as often as we used to. Thanks for watching. You can ask me anything on Twitter, via email, or in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe. It is a good way to provide feedback and show your support. Thanks again. Bye!